Hello, how are you?
Dr. Verma, I wasn't sure I understood your answer to Senator Moody a moment ago. Do you think that men can get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying,
Let me just remind you what you testified to a moment ago. Science and evidence should control, not politics.
In a heated exchange during a Senate Health, Education, Labor and Pensions Committee hearing on Wednesday, Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri repeatedly pressed an obscene witness on a single pointed question. Can men get pregnant?
Do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was. I mean, I do take care of patients with different identities. I take care of many women. I take care of people with different identities. And so that's where I paused. I think, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is just the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question is.
The goal is just to establish a biological reality.
The moment came amid testimony on the safety and access to mifepristone, the primary drug used in medication abortion.
In fact, my favorite term that I hear, and I hear it even from some folks in this body, is mifepristone is as safe as Tylenol. I've heard that so many times. It's as safe as Tylenol, it's as safe as Tylenol, it's as safe as Tylenol. Well, let me start with some basics. When you take a Tylenol, it doesn't take a child's life. So mifepristone, by design on the label, takes the life of a child. So let's just start there. The second issue, though, is also interesting. If you follow the label instructions for mifepristone and take it exactly as it is labeled, and if you take a Tylenol and take that exactly as it's labeled, if you take mifepristone, though, you are 8,000 times more likely to end up in the hospital than taking a Tylenol.
Dr. Nisha Verma, a board-certified obstetrician-gynecologist representing Physicians for Reproductive Health, declined to give a direct yes or no answer.
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question is.
The goal is just to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics. So let's just test that proposition. Can men get pregnant?
The doctor emphasized her care for patients with diverse identities, saying she treats many women and people with different identities, and argued that polarized questions do not serve the complex experiences of her patients.
Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities, but
Can men get pregnant?
I take care of many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women.
Can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying,
Let me just remind you what you testified to a moment ago. Science and evidence should control, not politics. So, can men get pregnant? You're a doctor, I think.
Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Do science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant? Biological men, can they get pregnant?
I also think yes/no questions like this are a political tool. And
No, yes/no questions are about the truth, doctor. Let's not make a mockery of this proceeding.
Hawley countered, insisting the distinction between men and women is not polarizing but a matter of scientific fact, and that women, not men, are the ones who can become pregnant.
You're a doctor, and you follow the science and the evidence. So I just want to know, based on the science, can men get pregnant? That's a yes or no question. It really is, I think.
I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of a lot.
I'm not. I'm trying to get, it's not complex. I'm trying to get to an answer, and I'm trying to test, frankly, your veracity as a medical professional and as a scientist. Can men get pregnant?
I think you're also conflating
This is
male
extraordinary.
female with
No, I'm not conflating male and female. They're two different things. There's biological men and there's biological women. And I want to know, can men get pregnant?
What you were talking about is biological.
You're not going to answer my question, it sounds like.
Biological males.
This isn't hard, doctor. Can men get pregnant?
A viral video clip of the back and forth, shared by the America PAC, has drawn millions of views and sparked widespread debate online.
Yes or no?
Again, I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you that is not coming from a place of trying to be polarized and push
I'm not
people-
trying to be polarizing. I'm trying to ask, I think it is extraordinary that we are here in a hearing about science and about women, And for the record, it's women who get pregnant, not men.
It also,
We are here about the safety of women and science that shows that this abortion drug causes adverse health events in 11% of cases. That's 22 times greater than the FDA label, another fact you haven't acknowledged, and yet you won't even acknowledge the basic reality that biological men don't get pregnant. There's a difference between biological men and biological women. I don't know how we can take you seriously and your claims to be a person of science if you won't level with this on this basic issue. I thought we were past all of this, frankly. I can't believe we're still here talking about this.
with some calling the exchange absurd and others defending the doctor's focus on inclusive patient care.
I am a person of science, and I'm also someone here who's here to represent the complex experiences of my patients, and I don't think polarized language or questions serve that goal. I don't think they serve the American people.
It is not polarizing to say that there is a scientific difference between men and women, and I want this to be clear and for the record. It is not polarizing to say that women are a biological reality and should be treated and protected as such. That is not polarizing, that is truth. It is also, by the way, the United States Constitution, which offers unique protections to women in a variety of circumstances as women. And your refusal to recognize women as women and men as men is deeply corrosive to science, to public trust, and yes, to constitutional protections for women as women.
The hearing itself centered on Republican calls to review FDA policies on telehealth prescribing and restrictions for the abortion medication, following years of legal and political battles over reproductive rights.
And I think it's extraordinary that you would sit here and advance a political agenda that has been thoroughly discredited and rejected by the American people in this forum. And I'm glad we had this exchange because it is exceptionally clarifying. It is also in many ways quite depressing.
Hello, how are you? Watch this man spot the two toddlers and run into action, stopping traffic with one arm, scooping up the kids with the other. No one was hurt. Need to say that right away. John Brittingham is the...
In Brevard County, Florida, a routine drive along State Road A1A turned into a life-saving moment caught on dramatic dashcam video.
Heart-stopping moments on what can be a busy road in Brevard County, Florida. Watch this man spot the two toddlers and run into action.
Sunday afternoon, two tiny toddlers, barely old enough to walk, wandered straight into the middle of the busy coastal highway.
Stopping traffic with one arm, scooping up the kids with the other. No one was hurt. Need to say that right away. John Brittingham is the hero.
Cars whizzed by, horns blaring, as the little girl stood alone and vulnerable in the traffic lane. Then, in an instant, a driver named John Brittingham reacted.
He then went looking for the parents, finding an open backyard gate and a stunned family who did not even know their toddlers were missing yet.
The father of 5 and grandfather slammed on his brakes, jumped from his vehicle, and raced into the road.